Let's learn about how to make this AI voice controlled robot, and his name is Chen. And here let's begin with knowing about what are the components that we will be using for this project. So we have a leg part along with a hip that has been taken from the Otto robot. So I bought it from online. That is the Otto walking robot. Right, so this Otto robot, for its legs, it has 4 servo motors. So to control the servo motors, I am using an expansion board along with the Arduino Nano. The Arduino Nano acts as the controller for controlling the entire movement and actions for this Otto robot. And for this AI voice control, I'm using this AI Thinker module over here. This AI Thinker module comes with the 2 inputs. That is one with a speaker along another here. One is the speaker here and another one is the mic here. So mic is used for sensing your voice and the speaker is used for the robot to speak. Right. So and then finally, we have our display here for display the eyes. So it's the SSD 1306.96 inch display that is used for the robot to show its expressions with the eyes. So now let's see how it works. So I will give the supply to this robot. Alright, so it said, hey, it's Chen here. So I can call him by his name. Hello, Chen. Hello, Chen. Hello, Chen.
What the hell?
Wake up.
Yeah, I am back.
Alright. Go forward.
Okay, I am going forward.
Stop going forward.
Okay, bro.
Go backward.
Okay, I am going backward.
Stop going backward.
Okay, bro.
So I can say like, I can make it close its eyes. Like, go to sleep.
Okay, goodbye, I will be back.
Alright, so our next step of our project is to understand the circuit diagram. So these are the circuit connections of our project. So as I told you, the heart of this project, the controller, is the Arduino Nano. That's used along with the expansion board for it. And then we have the VC-02 AI Thinker offline voice module. So this module helps us to make our voice being recognized in offline also without internet. And then also we have the SSD 1306 0.96 inch OLED display for making use of showing the eyes and expressions for the robot. And then there are 4 micro servo motors, that is SG90, that is used for making the robot to walk. So these connections are as follows. That is color format. So right foot goes to the pin number 5, the 3-pin set of number 5, and then the left foot goes to the pin number 4, and the right leg goes to the pin number 3, and finally the left leg should be connected to the pin number 2. All right, so we have completed the connections for the servo motors. Then coming to this SSD 1306 OLED. So OLED should be connected in such a way that the ground should be connected to any GND pin of our Nano expansion board, and then VCC should be given to 3.3 volts, that is mentioned as 3V3. And then SCL is connected to A5 and SDA is connected to A4 pin. That is analog 4 for SDA and analog 5 for SCL. Right. So now our OLED OLED connections is also done. Right. So coming to this VC-02 AI Thinker module, before connecting this VC-02 module to this Arduino Nano, you need to first do the voice commands. You need to complete the voice commands for this voice recognition module. So I will be covering that next. And after you complete that voice commands configuration, only then you should connect this to the Arduino Nano expansion board. Okay, the connections are as follows. So here, this VC-02, on this VC-02, I'm using the 3 pins. That is IOB7 or TX1 is connected to the source pin of the 7. Source pin of 7. So you should not connect to G or B. It should be connected to the source pin. Only then our output of this VC-02, if it is high or low, will be read by the Arduino Nano from the source signal. And then RX1 or IOB6 is connected to the pin number 9. Right. And finally, IOA27 is connected to pin number 10. All right. So these 3 pins are for waking up the eyes and closing the eyes. So when the voice is triggered, when you say something, it will make this corresponding input output pin to high. So it will set the output pin to high so that you can track the output pin by getting it as an input to the Arduino Nano, and according to that, by reading the digital pin, so you can do some actions on the Arduino Nano. For example, if you say like wake up, so immediately this in this output pin 27 will be high. So it will you can read it from the pin number 9, and if the pin number 9 gets a high signal, then you can make this LCD OLED display to wake up by showing the eyes animation. Right. So similarly, you can make it for go forward and go backwards. And then you need to connect the VCC pin to the 5 volts of the Arduino, and then the ground pin to any ground of the Arduino expansion board. Right. Right. So now coming to this VC-02 AI Thinker module. So how does this AI Thinker module receives the voice signal is that it has 2 slots over here. So one is for the speaker to be connected, and one is the microphone to be connected. So the microphone and speaker comes along with a kit, so you can connect it. So it's just a plug and play device. So you can just plug it, and automatically the VC-02 can sense your voice and it will talk to us. Right. So now, and then these are the connections for our VC-02 module and Arduino Nano, and SSD13006 display to Arduino Nano. So you can refer to that. Nano, you need to set up the voice command. So now let's set up the voice commands and then connect this to the Arduino Nano. Right. I will show you that how it's done. All right. So here, actually, this VC-02 is a Chinese product. So here, this module can be configured. It can be programmed here with the help of this online link here, that is voice.ai-thinker.com. So you can use this link for making the project for your for making voice commands for your VC-02 module. So let's see how it's being done. So let's say that you have created an account. So now you need to click the create product over here. So now here you have different categories in which you want to make your project. So lamps is the main is a common projects that we find on YouTube, sports and health. So I selected other. right, and this other. Yeah, we need to click that other, and then it will be asking you three things like offline, online plus Wi-Fi, offline. So our product is offline. That is our VC-02 is offline controlled. So I selected offline. Here it asks me whether VC-01 or VC-02. I select VC-02. And here I can type the product name as whatever the name you want to make. So I will say like my robot. And then you can select English. So if you're not getting English here, you can select this last option at the right corner and it will switch to Chinese and English. So I click save. All right, it will take me to this page here where we will be writing the voice commands over here. Okay, so now I will open the already created project. So once you have created the project, it will be listed in the list product. So here is the current project that we created. So you can go to view detail and you can edit it. So here I will take the robot name called Jack the robot. So I click this view detail. Right, so you need to click this voice SDK. And you need to click this edit over here. So that these are the three different versions that I created. So this is the final version that I'm using now for the voice controlled robot, right? So these are the different categories you have. That is front-end signal processing. So here you have different fields here. You need not change all these on the front-end signal processing. Next, the pin configuration. You need not change anything over here also. And here is the wake up word for my robot wakes up when I say hello Chen. So it will say like whenever I say hello Chen, it will say hi bro, I'm here. Right. So now you need to say the wake up word. And here one thing you have to note is that this is a Chinese product, you can use only a Chinese name. So I got this name Chen, which was a Chinese word. I think it doesn't work for any English names like Jack or John or something. So you can use only Chinese words. So hello Chen, hello Zing, like that. So here also ni hao. Ni hao is the Chinese word for welcome, hi, like that. So you can also use ni hao for waking it up. So you can, if you want to add one, you can click the add one and you can add. Right after that, the wake up sensitivity, let us leave it as middle and reply for wake up. Here, when you say ni hao or hello Chen, it will wake up by saying any of this. It will pick a random from these four, like I'm here, what can I do for you? Yeah, bro, like that. So if you want a new one, you can click that. So now, after that, you need to click the basic information. So now, I'm using three commands. I'm using three commands for uh, making the robot to do different actions. So one command is for opening the eyes and closing the eyes, and one is for going forward and backward, and one is for yeah, that's it. One is for going forward and stop forward, and third one is for go backward and stop backward. Right. So there are only uh, three controls. So 3 pins and 3 IO pins. That is outputs you need to turn in high state and low state. So the behavior, you need to type here the behavior, what you need to do for which pin. So go forward is the behavior. You can just type the keywords here without space. And here the command word. It is the command word for which the VC-02 module understands your voice. It will be tracking for any of the command word that you speak. So go forward, stop for going forward. So let's say for go forward. For go forward, the reply word from the robot will be, okay, I'm going forward. And also
When you say stop going forward, it will say, okay, bro. Right. So let's consider for these 1 and 2. So for 1 and 2, we use only one control. So let's go to you need to click the control details. And here for go forward, I'm using the B7, GPIO B7 pin to high to set high. Okay, I'm setting that as a high level. So whenever the GPIO B7 is triggered, while it listens to go forward. So when it listens to stop going forward, it will set the GPIO B7 to low level. So similarly, it should be done for go backward and stop backward as well. Let's say that we have completed the voice commands over here, and then below which we have the recognition sensitivity, set it to high. And here it will be asking you like which are the commands should be active. So you need to send all these towards the right by clicking this options and selecting the right, so that only the right ones will be active. And then we can set which kind of voice you want for your speaker. That is the VC-02 response from our robot. So I'm using a male announcer, Ziao Feng. Okay, you can choose any one you want. And then keep the volume as the middle, that is 50%. And brightness and speed of speech as 50%. All right, next. Here. So whenever all right, so now we have done our voice configuration, and then you click the make new version and click OK. Right, so now this is our new there is a new file that's been created, new project that's been created. So now you need to first build an SDK. So once you build an SDK, this tool will create a firmware for us. So it will take around 10 to 15 minutes. After that, you will get a button, download firmware, at the bottom of it. Let's say that after 30 minutes, you come back and you find this download firmware. I click this download firmware over here. And it will download a file that has an extension of tar file. Okay. So you need to click the keep command so that you can download it, the tar file. Right. So if you have a tar extractor, you can extract that. Else file, you will find 4 different documents here. So now we need this third document. That is the one that we will be uploading it to our VC-02 voice module. So that has an extension of uni app release update.py. So you can save this alone. I click save. All right. So the next step is that you need to go to the docs.aithinker.com/en/vc. So now we have our file, that is our firmware file that ends with uni app release underscore update and .bin. So this is the file that you need to load it to our VC-02 module. So here in this link, docs.ai-thinker.com/en/vc, you need to find for serial port burning tool. You need to click this and it will download a file. It will be a zip file. So once you download it, so let me click this. So it will download a file called hummingbird.zip file, hummingbird update. So I will show you how that zip file looks. So you need to extract the zip file. Right. So once you extracted the zip file, so these are the files that will be inside that tool, Hummingbird update 2. So now you need to click this over here that says application. And then, yes, so this is a tool from which we will be uploading it to our VC-02 module. So how to do that? So let me open the camera. Right, so let me show you this. So this is our this is our VC-02 module and the speaker and the mic over here. Okay, so now I've connected this VC-02 module to the computer. Let me connect it. So once I connect it, you will be able to see the COM port being listed. All right, so now our COM port is being displayed. So I need to select the file. So I need to go to the new folder. And I need to select this Uni app release update bin. So I need to click this open. Yeah. By keeping the reset button pressed with one of your fingers. So I click this button at the bottom and release it. So now our firmware should be uploaded to our VC-02 module. So once it is 100%, you can check whether it works or not.
Hey, Chen here.
That perfectly works. Hello, Chen.
What the hell?
Go forward.
Okay,
Okay, so it works fine. So now, after you check whether your voice recognition is working fine or not, now you can connect the to the Arduino Nano expansion board as per the connections that I mentioned at the beginning. All right, so I just turned off my camera. All right, so now let me show you the Arduino code for it. So once you have done all the connections, we are coming back to the Arduino code over here. So these are the references from which I refer. For the first one is for the OLED display. That is for eyes opening and closing. So you can refer for animation for the display. And here, these are the YouTube channels that I referred for programming this VC-02 module. So here, after connecting all the components, that is the VC-02 module and the display, we can start doing the program for the Arduino Nano. Here, you need to include the library file for servo. And here you are mentioning the servo for 4 parts of the leg. That is left leg, left toe, and right toe. And here the end pin that is for going forward is set. I'm setting an integer, 4 integers for end pin. That is for checking for forward and backward, and then for eye animation. Right. So now, yeah, these are the pin numbers that I'm mentioning here. So backward pin will be for 10. Is connected to the pin number 10 of the Arduino Nano from the VC-02 pin, and eye animation pin to detect the animation pin. I'm connecting it to the pin number 9 of it. Okay, so this is not 8, this is 9th. Right. So here it is 10th. right? And then here. So these are for the eye animation. That is for SSD1306. So you need to import the Adafruit library, GFX library, and then SSD1306 Adafruit library for our display. Right, then coming down. So these are all for the display properties. Okay, in the setup, I start with the serial begin, and then I say initialize the value int values to 0, 0, 0. So I'm setting all the conditions to be in off condition, that is 0. That is for forward, backward, and eye movement. So everything will be in turn off conditions. For our safety, I have made all these int values to be 0. So the display begins, and then here, coming down. So you're setting the pin mode. So these are the 3 pin names we have to look in for. That is the in pin. I'm setting it to input, eye animation pin as an input, and backward go as an input. All right, so the pin number 10. And this is pin number 9. And here, this is pin number 7. So in the setup, I'm just making all the 3 pins to be input. And here, so this calibrate is for attaching the pin numbers for the servo motors. So the corresponding servo motors will be connected to the pin numbers 2, 3, and 4, and 5. So there are 4 servo motors connected to 2, 3, 4, 5 pins. And then the walk forward is a function for making it go forward. So this walk forward will trigger move left leg forward and move right leg forward. So here is the code for move left leg forward. According to that, we set the servo angles. Similarly, we do it for walk backward function. So we have move right leg backward and move left leg backward functions for it. So once we have done the functions, so this is for drawing the eyes, and this is for showing the sleep. This function is for showing the sleep and for waking it up, closing the eyes and waking up. Right. So here in the void loop, we are setting the variables for forward, backward, and eye value by getting the digital read by calling the function digital read and setting that corresponding pin number. So when the corresponding digital read becomes high, it will pass value 1 to it. So when it gets 3.3 volts as an input from the VC-02 module, it will be set to 1. So if the value is 1, then the corresponding function walk forward will be triggered. If it is 0, stop walking. So in the stop walking, what we do is that we just make all the servo motors to servo motor pins to become 90 to stop. And then for wake up, for opening the eyes, and for sleep, for going back to sleep. So I think that I have covered most of what we have in our project. So if you have any queries, you just comment on the comment section so that I will get back to you. And also I will be uploading this programming file, that is the Arduino INO file, in the description link. Okay, so you can check with that. I hope you can try this. So you can try this and you can make a cheapest robot by yourself. Right. So thank you so much for listening. So let's meet again with another exciting project. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.